You made it. Good for you.
It was a walk for something. I'll tell you, if I was somewhere, I could feel like Charlie with the next years going around in circles. How are you?
I'm irritated because I couldn't get this to work. Unfortunately.
God knows I can't tell. I'm sorry. Norma. Oh. That's all right. I forget when the meeting goes to details.
We have to, I'm gonna have, I figured out how to do this and it won't work. So now I need to. That's something else. It's very frustrating. I'm going to try this today with a different microphone. And hopefully allow us to. Hopefully this will cut down a little bit on the resonance. Microphone that's just picks up what's coming from here, but we'll see. We'll get the, so anyone who is with us, I apologize if you managed to make it over here. I do not have a clue as to what's going on with my computer. I don't know if it's my computer or if there's some other problem. Oh, maybe I'll try it this way. Super duper annoying. I don't think I can do it. It's clearly going to need like an hour every morning to deal with this. Half an hour is not enough.
Oh. Oh, so good. And across the river. Across the river.
Jeez. Just stop. Anyone who was watching got to see me get really frustrated, so that's good. We'll try to do this. I'm not exactly sure why it's not working today, but there's always something. All right, page 101. Ma tovu holecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael v'ani berov chastecha ahavo v'hitecha Eshtachave elecha kodshecha v'yiratecha Adonai ahavti mehon beitecha umkom mishkan kevodecha v'ani eshtachave v'echra'a Evrecha lifnei Adonai osi v'ani tefilati Echa Adonai et chatzon, Elohim berov chastecha, aneni, b'emet ishecha. Page 103. We rise as we are able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechli bina l'achim ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani b'tzalmohu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokev kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka'a aretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amechim mitzedei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesali kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai. Did I miss one? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, anoten layayiv koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amavir meshina me'inai u'amon v'vepai. V'yi ratzon lifnech Adonai Eloheinu v'eloi avoteinu v'imotenu, shetagilem b'toratecha v'tebkinu mitzvotecha v'al tevinu lo yichet lo yidei averi v'yavon v'lo yidei nisayon v'lo yidei v'zayon v'al tashlit bana yetzer hara. V'harechekenu me'adam ra u'mechaber ra v'dabkenu b'yetzer hatov v'masim tovim v'chufet yitzreinu l'ishtachabed lach v'dnenu hayom v'chol yom lechin l'chesed rachamim v'hinecha v'b'nech Kol v'reinu kibim lenu chasadim tovim baruch atah Adonai gomel chasadim tovim la'amo Yisrael. L'olam yeh adam mirei shamayim v'setur v'galuhi u'modeh le'emet v'dover emet b'levavo v'yashkim v'yomer Ribon kol olamim lo al zikatenu anachnu mapilim tachanim lefnecha ki alechem rabim ma anachnu mechainu mechastinu ma tzidkenu ma yishenu ma kochenu ma gvorotenu ma anu ma lefnecha Adonai Eloheinu v'elohim lefnecha elo kol kogegim ka'en lefnecha v'yadshei Hashem kolo hayu v'chachamim kibli mada u'mdunim kibli haskel ki chol ma'aseinu tohu v'yimei chayinu v'hevel lefnecha v'umatar adam min behema ayin כי הכל הבל, אבל אנחנו מכבני בריתך ובני אברהם אהבת, שנשבעת לו בהר המוריה זרע יצחק יחידו שנעקד על גבי המזבח, עדת יעקב בנך בכורך, שמאהבתך שאהבת אותו משמחתך, ששמחת בו, קראת את שמו ישראל וישובון. לפיכך אנחנו חייבים להודות לך, לשבחך וברך את קדשת לתת שבח להודיה לשמך אשרינו מה טוב חלקנו ולנו גורלנו ומה יפה ירשתנו אשרינו שאנחנו משכימים מערבים ערב הבוקר ומפעמיים בכל יום שמע ישראל לאדוני אלוהינו ואדוני אחד. Good morning, Michael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadosh mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Page 107. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, yared et panav elecha v'chonecha yisad et panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Erim shadam mocha piritim v'olam hazav v'keren ka'imed lo l'olam haba Elohim gibura v'em v'imilut chasadim v'shmim. The Talmud Torah Keneged Kula. Instead of Psalm 130 today, we'll take a look at Psalm 67 for Sukkot, page 118. For the conductor, a song sung with instruments. May God be kind to us and bless us. May God's face shine upon us, Selah. That all on earth may know your ways, all lands see your deliverance. Nations shall acknowledge you, every nation shall acknowledge you. People of all lands shall be glad and rejoice, for you shall judge the nations with truth and lead the peoples of the earth, Selah. Nations shall acknowledge you, God, each and every nation acknowledge you. The earth has yielded its produce. May God, our God, continue to bless us. May God bless us, and may all revere you, even to the far ends of the earth. Okay. Turn now to page 122. I invite you to rise. The red one, Vivi, to the left top. That one, yep. If you can, sorry, it's so high. I'll pull some down in a minute. All right, please rise again as you're able. Baruch Shamar V'hayahu Olam Baruch Hu Baruch Osei Bereshit Baruch Omer Osei Baruch Omer Yosei Baruch Zakayim Baruch Merechim Ala Haaretz Baruch Merechim Ala Beriot Baruch B'Shalem Sachar Toleira Baruch Chayla B'Kayam Lanetzach Baruch Kodei Matzil Baruch Shemho Baruch Adonai. יחיד חיי עולמים מלך משובח ומפאר עד היד שמו גדול ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. Okay, we will turn to page 134. מזמור שיר למשבת חוב ולהודות לאדוני לזמר לשמך העליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נער ועלי היגיון בחינם כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך ומעשה ידיך יעני מה גדלו בעשיך אדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass and every evildoer blossoms only to be destroyed forever, but you Adonai are exalted for all time. Tzaddik tamar yivrach ke'eves b'levanon yizkeh שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו, יפריחו הוד. ינובון בסבב, שנים ברנים יהיו, להגיד כי יש אדוני צורי ולא. הבלעת בו אדוני מלאכי לבש, לבש אדוני אותי לזר, אף יקון תבל בל תימון נכון, כסכמי אז מעולם אתה. נשאו נהרות אדוני, נשאו נהרות כולם, יישאו נהרות תוכיה, מכל הות, מים רבים אדירים משפיעים אדיר במרום אדוני, עדותיך נאמנו מאוד לביתך בקודש אדוני, אורך ימים. Page 136. אשרי יושבי ביתך, הוד יהללוך סלה. תהילת לדוד, ארמינך אלוהי המלך, יברך שמך לעולם ועד. גדול אדוני ומלוא מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר. הדר כבוד הודיך, ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך. זכר אב טובך יביעו, וצדקתך ירננו. טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו. ועוד מלכותך יאמרו, גדולתך ידברו. מלכותך מלכות כל העולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. עיני כל עליך יסבר, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו. צדיק אדוני לכל דורך, וחסיד בכל מעשיו. חצון ירא ועשה, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם. תהילת אדוני ידבר פיו, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד, ואנחנו נברכיה, ויצא ביד עולם, הללויה. Page 145. נשמת כל חי, תברך את שמך, אדוני אלוהינו, ברוך ובשר תתברך תתרומם זכרך מלכים, תמיד מעולם ויד עולם. אתה אלוהים ידברך, אין לנו מלך הוא, ומושיע פודה ומציל ופרנס בדרכים, לכל עת צרה ודפיקה, אין לנו מלך אלא אתה אלוהי ושמך. המסיר חילמים, הבתיר סורים, סומך נופלים, אז עוקב כפופים לך לבדך, אנחנו מודים אלופינו מלא שיר הקיים ושוננו ננקה המון גדול, בשפתותינו שבח ומרחבי רקיע ועינינו מאירות, כשמש וכירח ידינו פירוסות כי נשרי שמיים ורגלינו כלות כאלות. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך אדוני אלוהינו ולא יודעים את דינו ולא לברך את שמך אחת מאלף אלפי אלפים וריבי רבבות פעמים הטובות שעשית עם אבותינו ואמותינו ועמנו ממצרים גאלתנו אלוהינו מביט וליבתנו. על כן יבינו שבנו בנו רוח נשמה שנפתחת בידינו לשון אשר שמת בפינו. אין הם יודו ויברכו וישבחו ויראו ויריצו ויתישו וימליכו ואת שמך על מלכנו כי כל פה לך יודע וכל לשון לך תשבע כל ברך לך תכרע וכל קומה לפניך תשתחווה וכל לבבות יראוך וכל קרב וכליון יזמרו לשמך כדבר שכתוב כל עצמותיי תאמרנה אדוני מחמוך מציל אני מחזק ממנו ואני ואביון מגוזלו מידי מלך ויוד לשלח ומי ירוך לך האל הגדול והגיבור והנורא אלוהים ובני שמיים וארץ נעלה לך ונשבח ונברך ונברך את שם קודשך חמור לדוד ברכי נפשי אדוני וכל קרבי את שהיד קודשו. page 147. האל בתעצור וזכר הגדול ביחוד שמך הגיבור לנצח בנורא ונורתך המלך היושב על כיסא רם ונישא. Okay. So just be careful as you're coming up to.
So I assume we don't have a minion.
I doubt we have a minion. Let's see how many people are watching right now. Looks like one people. One people. Now that people have to go to the original link and find the other link. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's all I have to say is play.
Okay,
And I'm not going to try to fix it anymore than I've already tried.
I can't hear anything you're saying because I can't wear my hearing aids and keep a mask on at the same time.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'd be happy to. No objections to me. I have no objections to being open. It's just that they weren't open when I came in. I think they claimed that the HVAC system is very effective. So I don't know that it's necessary, but I'm not opposed. I'm there.
We have some time.
What are we doing now?
Waiting for.
No, we should get started.
We should
It's
start.
been a long service today, so I made it very quick. In hopes that we won't be here all day. Maybe we might still be here all day.
You are a good soul.
Well, we tried.
We're on page 147. Shochin ad maron v'kadosh shemo v'chatu rananu tzadikim badanai lai sharim navat tehillah v'fi yesharim tithalal v'divrei tzadikim titbarach v'bilshan chasidim tikraman v'bekarev kadoshim tikadash v'makalot rivavot amcha beit Yisrael. Shechen chavat kol hayatzurim lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu lehodot lehalel leshabech lefaer le'em lahader levarech la'alel koles al kol divrei shirot v'tishbachot David ben Yishai abdecha meshichecha. Page 148. Please stand as you are able. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech Gadol B'Shemay Haaretz Ki L'chona Adonai Eloheinu B'Elohei Avotenu V'Matenu Shir Shvacha Halel V'Zimra Ozumim Shalah Netzach Gedula Gvura Tehillah V'Tiferet Kedusha U'Malchut Barachot V'Hodaot Me'ata V'Yad Olam Baruch Atah Adonai El Melech Gadol B'Tishbachot El HaHodaot Adon HaNiflaot Abocher B'Shirei Zimra Melech Elchei HaOlamim. Page 149. Actually, page 150. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol. Hakol yoducha v'hakol yeshabchucha v'hakol yomerin kadosh b'Adonai hakol yomerin sel yotzer hakol. V'el hapatech b'tol yom daltot sharim yisrach v'v'chech alamei rokiach. Shibachim for Arba Habinasem Imot Olam Elohei Olam Barachamecha Harabim Rafeim Aleinu Adon Uzenu Tzur Miskabenu Magen Yishenu Miskav Ba'adenu Ein Kirkacha V'Ein Zulatecha Efes Biltecha Umidom Alach Ein Kirkacha V'Ein Zulatecha Efes Biltecha Umidom Alach En kirkecha ba'olam hazeh. I have to go lower. The enzulatecha lechaye olam haba. Efes biltecha limot hamashiach. The endo melecha litfiat hametim. El Adon al kol hamasim baruch umvorach. V'fi kol neshama gadlo v'tuvo. Male olam da'at utvuna sohavimoto Hamid ka'e al chayot hakodesh v'nedar b'chavod al hamerchavat zechut umishor lifnei kiso chesed v'rachamim lifnei kvodo Tovi ma'orot shabara Eloheinu yitzaram b'da'at b'vina upaskel koach ubura natan bahem liyot moshlim b'kereb tegel moleim ziv umafikim noga na'eziv b'chol ha'olam semechim b'tzeitam b'sasim b'voam osim b'eim oratzon konam v'chavod notnim lishmot zahalav varina l'zecher malchuto karo l'shemesh v'yizrach ora v'hikin surat halvana shevach notnim lo kol tzeva maharam Tiferet gedula serafim v'ofanim v'chayot hakodesh lai 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 lai. Page 152. La el asher shavat mikol hamasim yomashvihit alavishal peace. Yeshiva Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbat Tov L'Odot L'Adonai L'Fi Chakifari V'Yarko Kol Yitzirav Yom Shabbat Kodesh Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu Yitkadesh V'Zivcha Malkeinu Yitba'er Hashemayim Mi'al V'Yal Ha'aretz Mitachar. Page 153. Titbarach Tzurenu Malkeinu V'Goaleinu. Kulam ahuvim, kulam barurim, kulam giborim, kulam osim be'ema uvira ritzon konon. Kulam potchim et pihem b'kedusha uv'tahara b'shira uv'zimra, u'marachim u'mishabchim u'mafarim u'maritzi, u'makdishim u'mahalichi. Shem ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol ha'gibor v'hanara kadoshu. V'chulam mekablim alehem. Ol malchut shamayim ze mizeh. 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 ונותנים רשות זה לזה להקדיש ליוצרם בנחת רוח, בשפה ברורה ובנימה קדושה, כולם כאחד עונים לי אומרים ביראה. קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, ולא כל הארץ כבודו. והאופנים וחיות הקודש ברעש גדול מתנסים לי מצרפים, לעומתם משבחים מי אומרים. Baruch kavod Adonai min komo. El Baruch nimo itenu. Tishbachot yashmiyu ki hu levado poel v'urot osech hadashot bal milchamot zarei tzedakot matzmech yeshuot borei refuot norah tehilot Adon haniflaot v'chadesh v'tuvo b'chol yom tamid maseh bereshit ka'amur v'yosei orim gedolim ki le'olam chasto. Or Chadash al Sion Ta'ir v'niskeh kulanu mehera li'oro Baruch Ata Adonai Yotzer HaMa'orot. Page 154. Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu Chemla Gedola V'Teira Amalta Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avor Avotenu Yimotenu Shabachu B'cha Avinu Malkeinu V'atalamdem Chukei Chaim Kein Techanenu Utlamdenu Avinu Ha'av Harachaman Amrachem Rachem Aleinu V'tein B'libenu Lahavenu Haskei Lishmoa Le'ilmod u'lelamed lishmor v'lasod u'kayemet kol divrei Talmud Toratecha b'yahava v'ha'er einenu b'toratecha v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu li'ahava u'yira et shemecha v'lo nevosh Le'olam va'ed, v'lo nevosh, le'olam va'ed, ki b'shem kodshecha, hagadol v'hanora b'hatachnu, nagila v'nismecha v'yeshuatecha. Ahaviyenu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz v'tolichenu komemiyut li'artzenu ki el Yeshuot ata uvanu v'charta mikolam v'lashon V'keravtanu l'shimcha hagadol sela be'emet l'hodot lecha u'liyachedcha bi'ahava Baruch atah Adonai Abocher Be'amu Yisrael Bi'ahava. Page 155. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Yohavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha b'chol nafshecha b'chol miyodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'el asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'hom v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha b'derech v'shaftecha v'kumecha v'kshartam la'ot ayadecha v'hayu l'totachot be'henecha v'taptem al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha. Continue on page 156. Chara after the Bacham the Atzar to Shemaim lo yamatar Molo totain people love you about him he wrote a horror such a bar she meditate him something that royal him the honor shame short to Matamatam but bin him with the beer from the shift of the Vetafa the left of the terror who the shaft of all Kumecha with Tom on this is so the Tefa be sure how the man near the Mechan you maybe Moshe Lemor Daber al Bnei Yisrael V'Amarta Lehem V'Yasu Lehem Tzitzit Al Kanfei B'Dehem L'Dortam V'Nedu Al Tzitzit Chanav B'Til Techelet V'Chayot Lehem Tzitzit V'Lutam L'Tom Yisfartem L'Kol Mitzvot Adonai V'Yasitem L'Tom V'Lo Taturu Acharei L'Lachem V'Acharei L'Chem L'Shem V'Acharei L'Man Tispuru V'Yasitem L'Kol Mitzvotai V'Yitam V'Yashim V'Yachim Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Yatziv nafam l'chenev v'yishavim. Continue on page 157. Yamatahu Elomokeinu Tzur Yaakov Magen Yishenu. L'dor hu kayam u'shmo kayam b'chiso nachon. Umalchuto v'yamunato la'ad kayamet u'dvorim chayim v'kayamin v'yamim v'nechadi v'omeramim al-v'tenu v'yamutenu v'yalenu al-v'nenu v'yal-v'retenu v'yal-kol d'Eretz Yisrael avdecha al-harishonim v'acharanim d'varto v'kayam v'yavam v'ed emet v'yamunacho kula yavor emet sha'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'yimotenu Malkeinu Melech Avotenu V'Imotenu Go'aleinu Go'el Avotenu V'Imotenu Mitzreinu Tzur Yeshuatenu Kodenu Umatzilenu Me'olam Shemecha Ein Elohim Zulatecha Ezrat Avotenu V'Imotenu Ato Me'olam Malkeinu Mashiach Livnechem Acharei Mechol Gavador B'Um Olam V'Shavecha Mishpatecha V'Zid Kachta Arab Se'aretz Ashrei Ishe Yishma L'Mitzvotecha Torahcha udvarcha yasima libo emet atahu adon li'amecha u'melech gibor lariv vivan emet 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 atahu rishon emet 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 atahu acharon umibaladecha ein lanu melech melech goel u'moshiach umibaladecha ein lanu melech melech goel u'moshiach. Page 158. Mitzrayim ga'altanu Adonai Eloheinu mi'beit-avodim v'ditanu kol b'choreihem haragta u'b'chorcha ga'alta v'yamsuf bagata v'tzayim tibata v'yedim ha'avarta v'yachasu mayim sareihem echad mehem lo notar al zot shikhu ahavim v'roma mu'el v'na'u yedidim zimirot shirot v'tishbachot brachot v'hoda'ot l'melech el-chai b'kayam Ram Benisa Gadol Venora Mashpil Geim Umagbiya Shefalim Motzi Asirim Ufoda Anavim V'Ozer Dalim V'on Eliamo V'et Shavam Elav Tehilot Le'el Elyon Baruch Hu u'mevorach Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael lecha anu shira Besimcha rabba, amru kulam, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder ba'kodesh, Nohora tehilot osefele, shira chadasha, shibhu ge'ulim l'shimcha sfatayam, yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'yomru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Please stand as you are able. Sur Yisrael, kumo be'ezrat Yisrael, u'tehim echa Yehuda b'Yisrael. Go Aleinu Adonai tzvaot shelo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai. For all Israel, page 159.
So just be sure to insert Ha-Moed on page 163.
On page where?
Page 163, the additions for
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Haggadol, Hagibor, V'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Gomel HaKol, V'Zocher Chesed Yavot Ve'imavot, V'Yoel V'Nei V'Nei V'Leman Shelo V'Ahaha, Melech Ozer, V'Yoshiach V'Makom, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Chokei Sarah, Atah Givor Me'olam Adonai, V'Chayei Kima Torah V'Hoshiach. Lori, which one is it? Oh, Lori Hatal. Yechakel Chayim V'Chesed, Yechayei Meitim V'Rachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asuri, Umekayei Emunato, Yishenei Afar, Nibamocha Ba'agidurot, Umidom Elah, Melech Levi, Umekayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emar Natal HaChayot Beitim, Baruch atah Adonai, V'chayei HaMeitim. V'kadesh et shimcha ba'olam, K'shem shemakdishim oto b'shmei moram, HaKatuv al yad neviyecha, V'kara zeh el zeh v'amar.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Tzvaot, Kol haaretz kedodo, Haaretz bekorash kedodi, v'chazak v'ashkim kol yasima, Seranatam, v'rokim e'rozim.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai tzvaot, Melech haaretz kevodo. Ahaz b'kol ashkado, Adir b'chazak, Mashmi'im kol, V'nasim l'yamatzurafim, V'motam baruch yomeru.
Baruch Adonai,
Baruch kavod Adonai minkomo, minkomo malkeinu tofia, v'timloch aleinu, v'machakim anak yulah, atai timloch b'tziyahu, v'karov yomenu v'yom moed tishkon, v'tikadal v'tikadash, v'tok Yerushalayim ircha, v'dor v'dor, u'netzach netzakim. V'eheinu jirveka, malchutecha, adabar ha'amor, v'shirei uzecha, al yedei David Mashiach tzikecha. Lo Adonai Leolam Elohai Tzion Ludor Vador. Hallelujah. Ludor Vador Nagi Gadlaka. Unetzach Nitzachim Kedushat Panakti. V'shivlacha Elohim Nipi Elohim Ushli Olam Voed. Ki El Melech Gadol V'kadosh Ata. Baruch Ata Adonai. El HaKadosh.
Hava. So do you want to read Hava or you?
No.
I'd rather have you. It's fine.
I mean, I can sort of do it, but you can do it.
We can do it together, right?
Okay, we'll do it together.
And 6 feet apart.
Right. Do we have a minute?
We have one, if we count the person up, 2 people online.
It said here that for the Kedusha, you need a minute.
You need a minion for the Kedusha. We
We
have,
already did it.
right, we have 2 people online.
Yeah.
So we have 8 in the room, and 2
okay.
online.
So
So
I thought you said we didn't have one.
we're not in the room.
Yeah.
Not in the room. Counting on the people who are there, that just say that are on that they're online, that they're paying attention.
Well, their aura will remain if they
Exactly.
leave.
Exactly.
I think it's okay to do Hallel.
I think seeing it rustles a few more people. All right, so Hallel, page 316. Norman, I will say the blessing. It's customary to rise as you are able during Hallel, and then we'll say the blessing, and then everyone can repeat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'hitzivanu likro et ha'aleh. All right, your turn. Your turn. There we go. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. המשפילי לרב בשמיים ובארץ, מקימים מהפרדה ומשמיע שפות ירים אביון, לא 70 נדבים, עם דבי עמו, מושיבי עקרת הבית, הם הבנים שמחה, הללויה, בצאת ישראל מישראל, בית יעקב מהפרס, בצאת ישראל מישראל, בית יעקב מהמורס, הייתה יהודה לקודשו, ישראל ממשלותיו, הים ורס וינוס הירדן, יסוב ואחור, ההרים רקדו כאבן, גבעות כבני צאן, מלך הים, כי תענוס, הירדן, תיסוב לאחור, ההרים, תרקדו כאלים, גבעות, כבני צאן, מלפני אדון, חולי ארץ, מלפני אלוהי יעקב, אהוכי הצור, הגמיים, חלמיש, למיינו מהר. לא לנו, אדוני לא לנו, כי לשמך תן כבוד. על חסדך עמיתך, למה יאמרו הגויים, היינה אלוהיהם. You are in heaven doing whatever you will. Their idols are made of silver and gold, the work of human hands, with mouths that cannot speak, eyes that cannot see, ears that cannot hear, a nose that cannot smell, hands that cannot touch, feet that cannot walk, throats that utter no sound. Their creators shall suffer that fate, all who have faith in Yisrael b'tach Adonai, Ezra u'maginam hu, Beit ha'Habron b'tchuv Adonai, Ezra u'maginam hu, Yirei Adonai b'tchuv Adonai, Ezra u'maginam hu. Adonai zecharani yivarech, yivarech et Beit Yaakov, yivarech et Beit Aharon, yivarech Yirei Adonai. הקטנים הגדולים, יוסף אדוני עליהם, עליכם ויעל עליכם, ברוכים אתם לאדוני, עושה שמיים בארץ, שמיים לאדוני, והארץ נתן בידי אדם, לא המתים יהללויה, ולא יורדי דומה, ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה. אהבתי, כי ישמע אדוני קולי תחנוני, כי ידע אוזנו לי, ובעמך רפפוני אך בנה ונמות. Adonai is kind and righteous. Our God is compassionate, guarding even the foolhardy. Though I was brought low, God saved me. Be at ease, I said to myself, for Adonai has done this for you. You have saved me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. Et halechtiv Adonai b'atzvot ha'chaim, haminti ki edaber, ani aniti me'od. Ani amarti b'chofzi, kol ha'adam, koze ma'ashiv Adonai. Kol d'vrei alai, kos yeshuot esau b'shem Adonai eka. R'el Adonai shalem negdana lechol amot. Yakar b'einei Adonai amavta lechasida. An Adonai ki ani avdecha ben abitecha itachta lemosevai lechaz b'achzevach toda v'shem Adonai ekra nidrai Adonai ashalem negdana lechol amot lechatzrot beit Adonai v'tovchei Yerushalayim Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Adonai, kol shabechuhu kol ha'umim, yigama, Hallelu, Hallelu, chasnu b'yedmet, Adonai, le'olam, Hallelujah, Hodu Adonai, kitov, ki le'olam, chasnu, yomana, Yomana, Yisrael, ki le'olam chasto, Hodu Adonai, ki tov, ki le'olam chasto, Yomruna, ve'taharo, ki le'olam chasto, Hodu Adonai, ki tov, ki le'olam chasto, Yomruna, yirei Adonai, ki le'olam chasto, Hodu Adonai, ki tov, ki le'olam chasto. Ben amet sekratiyan ani benechaviya, Adonai le'le'ana yaseh li'adam. Page 320. Ozi zimratia Vaili Yeshua Ozi zimratia Vaili Yeshua Ozi Zimratia Vaili Yeshua Ozi Zimratia Vaili Yeshua. In the tents of the righteous voices resound with song and triumph. God's right arm is like an army. God's right arm is upraised. God's right arm is like an army. Lo amud ki echye v'yasaper ma'aseya yesor yisaranu l'mavet lo netanami pitchu li sharei tzedek avovam odeya Apitchu li sharei tzedek avovam odeya Ze hashar l'Adonai tzadikim yavovo Ze hashar l'Adonai tzadikim yavovo Odecha ki amitani v'tehi li Yeshua עודך, היא עמיתני ותהי לי לילוה, אבן מעשו הבונים, הייתה לראש פינה, אבן מעשו הבונים, הייתה לראש פינה, מאת אדוני הייתה זאת, כי נפלאתי עינינו, מאת אדוני הייתה זאת, כי נפלאתי עינינו, זה היום עשה אדוני, נגילה ונשמחה בו, זה היום עשה אדוני, נגילה ונשמחה בו. Go ahead, Norma.
Kaddish on page.
No, Adonai.
Oh.
Oh, you were waiting.
I
Oh,
turned.
sorry. All right, I thought you were with us. Page 320.
was.
Adonai, Hoshiana. Adonai, Hoshiana. Adonai, Hatzlichana. Adonai, Hatzlichana. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, b'rachnuchem מבית Adonai. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, b'rachnuchem מבית Adonai. El Adonai v'ya'el lanu, Yisru chag ba'avot imotanu tamizbeach. El Adonai v'ya'el lanu, Yisru chag ba'avot imotanu tamizbeach. Eli atzar yodecha, Elohai aromimeka. Eli atzar yodecha, Elohai aromimeka. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, Leolam chasto, Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, Leolam chasto. Page 321, Yahalaluch Adonai Eloheinu hu ma'asecha, v'chasidecha tzadikim musir tzonecha, v'chol ha'mecha b'it Yisrael b'reinai yodu v'yibarechu, v'shabachu, v'yaritzu v'yalmu, v'yaritzu v'yikdishu v'yamlechu et shemecha. Al keinu ki lecha tov l'hodot l'shemcha na'el hazameh, k'nei olam v'yadat olam ata'el. Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulav v'tishbachot. Page 321. Go ahead, Norman. Now we're ready.
Kadav yikadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'yamad divrei ritei, v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayechonu v'yimechonu chayot kol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kari v'yimru.
Amen. Yehi shmei rabba levarach, v'yalamu amei almaya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yidvar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitalal shemei kudesho.
Barichu.
La'ela min kol berchota v'shirata tishbchata v'nechamata damiran v'hama v'yimeru.
Amen.
Kabel tzalaton v'oton d'chol Yisrael kadam avuhom di b'shmaya v'yimeru.
Amen.
Yehesh lama rabba bin shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'yimeru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'el kol yoshvei tevel v'yimeru.
Amen. Yeshkoach.
Thank you, and to you.
All right. Let's see, you up for doing the Torah service? Phenomenal. So the Torah service is, oh, the mask you can breathe through is a good idea. All right, so the Torah service, we tend to call pages from this booklet. The Torah service begins on page.
Oh, it's from the synagogue.
54.
I mean, Hillel.
And it sounds like someone is not muted on Zoom.
It's a straight Torah service, right?
So yes, it's a regular Torah service, and unfortunately, we will need to roll
Oh,
the Torah, but we will. No,
bear with me with this mask.
there with that.
It's not the greatest mask. Ein kamalcha v'Elohim Adonai,
V'yein k'mosecha, Malachutecha, malachut, kol olamim, u'memshaltecha, dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch, le'olam ba'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevorech, et amo v'shalom, al-harachamim, heitiva v'irtzonecha, et Zion, tivnech Ha-Moed, Yerushalayim, tivnech Ha-Moed, Yerushalayim, ki lecha levad matachnu, melech el ram v'nisa, adon olamim. Vayivi Zohar, Vayomer Moshe, Kumar Adonai, Ve'ahutza Oivecha, Ve'anusu Nesanecha, Mipanecha, Ve'itzion, Ve'itzion, Page top at 58? Yep. Velishme Kadisha, Kadisha Yakira, Anna Amor, Tushbecham, Beyanarachets, Beyanarachets, Velishme Kadisha, Kadisha Yakira, Anna Amor, Tushbecham, Yeheraba Kadama, Titavi, Oraita, Ritashli Mishali, Dalibi, Dalibarama, Israel, Litav Lachai, Islam. Somebody help me with the Taurus.
So, let's see, Jim and Roy. This is the off-year one.
This one is a little.
Jim, you stay here for now.
Page 60.
We want to flank our, there we go, we'll close that over here.
All right. Repeat after me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hatiferet, Vehanetza, Vehahod, Jehovah Shamayim, V'aretz, Jehovah Shamayim, V'aretz, Adonai Hamalacha, B'amid Na'aseh, L'chol Erosh, Romenu, Romenu, Adonai Eloheinu, V'ishtachavu, V'ishtachavu, Le'adon Rabba Kadosh Hu, Romenu, Romenu, Adonai Eloheinu, V'ishtachavu,
Okay, Ashkoach. And let's see, Maury, are you willing to be Gabbai? Great.
See if yours is not at the right place.
Not at the right place. You'll have to pull. You can move that stuff if you want. Rolling. Yeah.
Like that. And you know where we're going.
Nope. I will figure it out.
Shmot.
We're going to Shemot, exactly. If we hit the shear, we've gone too far. We just left. This is by because we just left. I think it was rolled for Yom Kippur. You remember how it starts?
Moshe, Eladonai, Re'eh, Atah, Omer, Eli, Ha'al, Ha'am, Hazeh. Right?
Yeah. His life. Life is. We're still making stuff. Right? This is between, though, right? This is close. Here's Kitisa.
Oh.
So the question's in the middle of Kitisa, right?
Yeah.
The Eata. And more Eli.
Yeah.
All right, we are ready to go.
All stale. Shabbat Shalom. The Torah reading today is from portion Kitisa. It starts Exodus chapter 33:12 and goes through 34:26. It's found on 538. Is there a Kohen that
Holding the Torah. So, start Leviticus.
Vayozer v'yagen v'yashir v'chol chosi bo v'namar amen. V'kol hogu godel Eloheinu yu kavod v'torah ya'amod.
Chaim Yaakov,
Chaim Yaakov
Ben Simcha v'Batya Halevi.
ben Simcha Babatia Halevi b'mkom haKohen Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Baruch Hu Adonai, Baruch.
Baruch
Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'avim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayomer Moshe El Adonai. Re'eh. Ata Omer Elai Ha'al El Ha'am Hazeh. Et ha'am hazeh, v'ata lo hodatani et asher tishlach imi, v'ata amarta yidaticha v'shem, v'gam matzata chen b'einai, v'ata imna matzati chen b'einecha, hodi'eni na et derachecha, v'edacha l'man emtza chen b'einecha, u're'ei ki amcha hagoy hazeh, Vayomar, Panay Elechu, Vahanichoti lach, Vayomer Elav, Im ein panecha, Holchim, Al ta'alenu mizeh, Uvameh Yivada Efo. Kimatzati Necha, Ani v'amecha, Alo Lechecha, Anu,
I am.
Inu, Ani v'amcha, V'nifleinu ani v'amcha mikol ha'am asher al pnei ha'adama.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah V'chayei Olam Atah B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Before we start, could everyone who's on Zoom please mute yourselves? Private recording. Ha-Moed, Sarai, what did you say? Ha-Moed, Kava, Bat, Sarab, Abraham, Sheni. We're on verse 17.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Gam et hadavar hazeh asher dibarta e'aseh ki matzata chen b'einai va'edacha b'shem Vayomar har'eni na et kavodecha Vayomer ani avir kol tuvi al panecha v'karati b'shem Adonai lefanecha V'chanoti et asher achon, v'richamti et asher arachem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Lori, can I call you? Mary? We'll be starting at verse 20. 539. Ha-Moed, Miriam Bat, Shimshon, the Leva, Shlishi,
Baruch hu et Adonai Habaruch. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'charbon mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayomer, Vayomer, lo tuchal lirot et panai, ki lo yarani ha'adam v'chai. Vayomer Adonai, hine makom iti, v'nitzav ta al hatzur, v'haya ba'avor kolodi, v'samticha b'nikrat hatzur, v'sakoticha pi alecha ad ovri, v'asiroti et kapi, V'ra'ita et achorai, ufanai lo yera'u.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ha-Moed, Nechama,
Bar Yehudit v'Yitzchak.
Bat Yehudit, v'Yitzchak, Revi'i,
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamorach. Baruch Adonai Hamorach Olam Ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'charbon mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe salacha shnei luchot avanim karishonim v'chatafti al haluchot et hadvarim asher hayu al haluchot harishonim asher shibarta ve'yeh nachon laboker v'alita baboker el har Sinai v'nitzavta li sham al rosh hahar v'ish lo yaleh imach v'gam ish al yira b'chol hahar kamatzon v'habakar al yiru El Mul Ha-Ha-Ha-Hu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ha-Moed. You know, did you bring in Esther, but
And my mother had no.
Ha-Moed, Esther, Hillel, Berenice, Hamishi. Okay, European. Do we have a transliteration someplace? Hey, what? Transliteration someplace? Otherwise, we will do it in English. Okay.
I'd rather do it with the. I guess we can't do it.
Do we have a transliteration someplace?
Translate.
Oh,
Sorry.
there we go.
I can try. All I can say is for who is Adonai.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Baruch Olam Va'ed. Thank you. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha-Torah.
Amen.
Amen. ויפסול שני לוחות אבנים כראשונים, וישכם משה בבוקר ויעל אל הר סיני, כאשר ציווה אדוני אותו, ויקח בידו שני לוחות אבנים, וירד אדוני בענן ויתייצב עמו שם, ויקרא בשם אדוני, ויעבור אדוני על פניו, ויקרא אדוני, אדוני אל רחום וחנון, ארך אפיים, רב חסד ואמת, נוטה חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה, ונקה לא ינקה, פוקד עוון אבות, על בנים ועל בני בנים, על שלישים ועל רבעים, וימהר משה ויקוד ארצה וישתחו, ויאמר אם נא מצאתי חן בעיניך, אדוני ילך נא אדוני בקרבנו, כי עם שעורף הוא, וסלחת לעווננו ולחטאתנו ונחלתנו, ויאמר הנה אנוכי קורא ברית נגד כל עמך, אעשה נפלאות אשר לא נבראו בכל הארץ ובכל הגויים, וראה כל העם אשר אתה בקרבו את מעשה אדוני, כי נורא הוא אשר אני עושה עמך.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natanu Torah emet v'chayim olam nata b'tokhainu Baruch atah Adonai noten ha-Torah.
Amen.
You can stand here if you need to sit down.
Is that all right?
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Ha-Moed,
Mordechai,
Mordechai,
Yeshayahu,
Yeshayahu,
Ben Lipa.
Ben
Lipa.
Lipa, Shishi, We're at verse 11 on page 542.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן.
שמור לך את אשר אנוכי מצווך היום, הנני גורש מפניך את האמורי והכנעני והחיתי והפריזי והחיבי והיבוסי, ישמר לך. פן תכרת ברית ליושב הארץ אשר אתה בא עליה, פן יהיה למוקש בקרבך, כי את מזבחותם תקלצון, ואת מצבותם תשברון, ואת אשריו תכרתון, כי לא תשתחווה לאל אחר, כי אדוני קנה שמו אל קנה הוא. פן תכרת ברית ליושב הארץ, וזנו אחרי אלוהיהם, וזבחו לאלוהיהם, וקרא לך ואכלת מזבחו, ולקחת מבנותיו לבניך, וזנו בנותיו אחרי אלוהיהן, והזנו את בניך אחרי אלוהיהן, אלוהי מעשיך לא תעשה לה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בדרכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Lois? Ha-Moed, Le'abat David B'Dvorah, Shvi'i.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
אמן. את חג המצות תשמור 7 ימים, תאכל מצות אשר ציוויתיך למועד חודש האביב, כי בחודש האביב יצאת ממצרים, או פטר רחם לי בכל מקנך תזכר, פטר שור ושה, ופטר חמור תפדה ושה, ואם לא תפדה וערפתו, כל בכור בניך תפדה ולא יראו פני ריקם, 6 ימים תעבוד, וביום השביעי תשבות, בחריש ובקציר תשבות, בחג שבועות תעשה לך ביקורי קציר חיטים, בחג האסיף תקופת השנה, 3 פעמים בשנה יראה כל זכורך את פני האדון אדוני אלוהי ישראל, כי יריש גויים מפניך, והרחבתי את גבולך, ולא יחמוד איש את ארצך בעלותך, לראות את פני אדוני אלוהיך 3 פעמים בשנה, לא תשחט על חמץ דם זבחי, ולא ילין לבוקר זבח חג הפסח, ראשית ביקורי אדמתך תביא בית אדוני אלוהיך, לא תבשל גדי בחלב עמו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
At this point in the service, we do a mishabarak for those who are ill. We'll do it from our seats so that we don't make more of us who are ill. And if you'd like to have a name, please stand up so I can call them. Mishabarak Rabotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Bimotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel Boleah hu yivarech yirapeh et kol hacholim.
יוסף, שמה וחפר יוסף רבקה, זהבה בת ציונה ואברהם, רבקה בת רחל ויעקב, מרים בת יוסף ויעקב, ג'ורדם הגויים, עמית בת אהרון ובת אהרון,
Ari Belkin and Ari Ben Bertrand Udevora Kohen.
Nikolai Koshi, David Cohen. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem Lachim V'Atam L'Hachizitam U'Hachizotam Yishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuah HaNefesh Refuah HaGuf B'Toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael V'Namar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bring blessing and healing to all those we have named who are ill. May the Holy Blessed One, have mercy upon them and speedily restore them to perfect health, both body and spirit, together with all others who are ill. And let us say, Amen. So it'll be you and me. So you can have the first one.
Yeah, I'll do.
Right now, and somebody to, Lori, can you wrap?
Oh, I thought you were doing it. So
No, I'm going to be lifting the second.
Yeah, he has to lift number 2.
Yamdu Hakmabia Baham Agor Sefer Rishon Zohar Torah Asher Sam Moshe Ifnei Yadon Yad
Lanu Moshe, Siva Lanu Moshe, Torah, Siva Lanu Moshe, Torah, Siva Lanu Moshe. Morasha Kehilat Yaakov, Morasha Kehilat Yaakov, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Is that where it's supposed to be? I believe so. I believe it's rolled again for Yom Kippur, so it should be like one Ha-Moed.
Here, this is part of it.
I don't know
Why? Wait, I'll tell you what we do.
Aren't we reading from
It says
Midbar now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the maft here is
Where?
Numbers 29, verses 23 to 28. It's found page 935.
Which verses? Did you say?
23 to 28.
23 to 28. V'yom ha'revi'i v'yom ha'chamishi.
Right.
Okay.
And it's on page 935.
V'yom ha'revi'i v'yom ha'chamishi. Numbers.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Numbers 20, what chapter?
Numbers 29.
29, yeah.
23.
Okay. Revi'i and Chamishi.
11. What? Ha-Moed,
אילנה רחל,
Ilana Rachel,
בת אברהם ושושנה.
Bat Abraham Shoshana, Aftir,
ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו תורת אמת. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
וביום הרביעי הרים 10 אלים 2 כבשים בני שנה 14 תמימים מנחתם ונזקיהם לפרים לאלים ולכבשים כמספרם כמשפט ושעיר עזים אחד חטאת מלבד עולת התמיד מנחתה ונזקה. וביום החמישי פרים 9 אלים 2 כבשים בני שנה 14 תמימים מנחתם ונזקיהם לפרים לאלים ולכבשים ומספרם כמשפט ושעיר חטאת אחד מלבד עולת התמיד ומנחתה ונזקה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
It's the 48th anniversary of my father's yahrzeit today.
Okay. So we have the Torah. Right.
Sherry, would you wrap?
Be careful as you're walking over here.
Who's lifting?
Somebody call me. For us.
Please rise.
ספר שני.
ספר שני.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל.
משה מורשת קהילת יעקב, מורשת קהילת יעקב, מורשת קהילת יעקב, תורה ציווה לנו משה, תורה 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 ציווה לנו משה, תורה 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 ציווה לנו משה, תורה 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 ציווה לנו משה, תורה 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 ציווה לנו משה, מורשת קהילת יעקב, מורשת קהילת יעקב, מורשת קהילת יעקב, תורה ציווה לנו משה. Right. There's a yard here somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, we're not.
The Haftorah, everybody. The Haftorah is Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 18 through 39, verse 16. It's found on page 1260. Please join me in the blessings before and after. And since today is, we do the festival blessing after for Sukkot, even though it's called Ha-Moed.
Which means,
There's a little extra part of it.
are you going to tell me?
What does it have to-
Yes, he gave me this.
Okay, so I'm just, instead of this. Where's the festival one?
Do we have the festival one in the book, Jim? Oh,
Oh, yeah, here we go. On page 71. That's for after. Before is normal.
wait, before it's normal.
Before is normal, after is the festival.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנביאים טובים ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו בנביאי האמת בצדק. Sherry, would you stop me on the first tone? והיה ביום ההוא ביום בו גוג על אדמת ישראל נאום אדוני אלוהים תעלה חמתי באפי ובקנאתי באש עברתי דיברתי אם לא ביום ההוא יהיה רעש גדול על אדמת ישראל ורעשו מפניי דגי הים ועוף השמיים וחיית השדה וכל הרמס הרומס על האדמה וכל האדם אשר על פני האדמה ונהרסו ההרים ונפלו המדרגות וכל חומה לארץ תיפול וקראתי עליו לכל הרי חרב נאום אדוני אלוהים חרב איש באחיו תהיה ונשפטתי איתו בדבר ובדם וגשם שוטף ואבני אל גביש אש וגופרית אמטיר עליו ועל אגפיו ועל עמים רבים אשר איתו והתגדלתי והתקדשתי ונודעתי לנגויים רבים וידעו כי אני אדוני. ואתה בן אדם הנבא על גוג ואמרת כה אמר אדוני אלוהים הנני אליך גוג נשיא ראש משך ותובל בשור ביתך ושישתיך ועלתיך מירכתי צפון והביאותיך על ערי ישראל והכיתי קשתך מיד שמאלך וחיציך מיד ימינך אפיל על ערי ישראל תיפול אתה וכל אגפיך ועמים אשר איתך לעת ציפור כל כנף וחיית השדה נתתיך לאוכלה על פני השדה תיפול כי אני דיברתי נאום אדוני אלוהים ושילחתי אש במגוג וביושבי האיים לבטח וידעו כי אני אדוני ואת שם קודשי הודיע בתוך עמי ישראל ולא אכל את שם קודשי עוד וידעו הגויים כי אני אדוני קדוש בישראל. הנה באה ונהייתה נאום אדוני אלוהים הוא היום אשר דיברתי ויצאו יושבי ערי ישראל וביערו והשיקו בנשק ומגן בצינה בקשת ובחיצים ובמקל יד וברומח ובערו בהם אש 7 שנים ולא יישאו עצים מן השדה ולא יכתבו מן היערים ובנשק יבערו אש ושללו את שולליהם ובזזו את בוזזיהם נאום אדוני אלוהים. והיה ביום ההוא אתן לגוג מקום שם קבר בישראל. גאה העוברים קדמת הים וחוסמת היא את העוברים וקברו שם את גוג ואת כל המונו וקראו גהמון גוג וקברום בית ישראל למען תאר את הארץ 7 חודשים וקברו כל עם הארץ והיה להם לשם יום הכבדי נאום אדוני אלוהים ואנשי תמיד יבדילו עוברים בארץ מקברים את העוברים את הנותרים על פני הארץ לטהרה מקצה 7 חודשים יחפורו ועברו העוברים בארץ וראה עצם אדם ובנה אצלו ציון עד קברו אותו המקברים אל גהמון גוג וגם שם עיר המונה וטיהרו הארץ. So 71 more. So I start regular.
So regular.
Okay, join me. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור עולמים צדיק בכל הדורות האל הנאמן האומר ועושה המדבר ומקיים שכל דבריו אמת בצדק נאמן אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ונאמנים דבריך ודבר אחד מדבריך הכל לא ישוב ריקם כי אל מלך נאמן ורחמן אתה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הנאמן בכל דבריו רחם על ציון כי בית חיינו ולעלובת נפש תושיע במהרה בימינו ברוך אתה אדוני משמח ציון בבניה שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך ובמלכות בית דוד משיחך במהרה יבוא ויגל לבנו על כיסאו לא ישב זר ולא ינחלו עוד אחרים את כבודו כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו שלא יכבה נרו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מגן דוד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום חג הסוכות הזה יום חג הסוכות הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לששון ולשמחה כבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת וישראל והזמנים.
All right, so now we will turn to instead of the oratorical, we need to read from Ecclesiastes. So we'll see. Let's thank you now. This is we are at the very end of the second triennial year. We will read the second, third. And I'm going to ask everyone who, usually we would be willing to, I'm going to practice what I preach here. Usually I would say we could read from our seats, but I think today it doesn't make sense to read from our seats because then there'll be just a disembodied voice for those of us who are watching on YouTube or Zoom. So I'm going to invite people to come up. So let's see, we're going to start on page, not page 52, but 7, page 64. And if you can see these words, and your eyes are in better shape than mine. All right. Page 56, page 64, chapter 5. All right, so and feel free to read in English or in Hebrew, to chant or just to declaim. So keep your mouth from being rash, and let not your throat be quick to bring forth speech before God. For God is in heaven and you are on earth. That is why your words should be few. Just as dreams come with much brooding, so does foolish utterance come with much speech. When you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it, for God has no pleasure in fools. What you vow, fulfill. It is better not to vow at all than to vow and not to fulfill. Don't let your mouth bring you into disfavor, and don't plead before the messenger that it was an error. But fear God, else God may be angered by your talk and destroy your possessions. For much dreaming leads to futility and to superfluous talk. If you see in a province oppression of the poor and suppression of right and justice, don't wonder at the fact. For one high official is protected by a higher one, and both of them by still higher ones. Thus the greatest advantage in all the land is his. He controls a field that is cultivated. A lover of money never has his fill of money, nor a lover of wealth his fill of income. That too is futile. As his substance increases, so do those who consume it. What then does the success of its owner amount to, but feasting his eyes? A worker's sleep is sweet, whether he has much or little to eat, but the rich man's abundance does not let him sleep. Here is a grave evil I have observed under the sun, riches hoarded by their owner to his misfortune, in that those riches are lost in some unlucky venture, and if he begets a son, he has nothing in hand. Another grave evil is this: he must depart just as he came, and as he came out of his mother's womb, so he must depart at last, naked as he came. He can take nothing of his wealth to carry with him. So what is the good of his toiling for the wind? Besides, all his days he eats in darkness, with much vexation, and grief and anger. Only this I have found is a real good, that one should eat and drink and get pleasure with all the gains he makes under the sun, during the numbered days of life that God has given him, for that is his portion. Also, whenever a man is given riches and property by God, and is also permitted by him to enjoy them, and to take his portion and get pleasure for his gains, that is a gift of God. For such a person will not brood much over the days of his life, because God keeps them busy enjoying themselves. All right, I like that. All right, good. So who would like to read chapter 6? Go ahead. I saw Norma. All right, so maybe Norma chapter 6 and Ilana chapter. Are you okay with chapter 7?
Sure.
Okay, great. So Norma, come on up. And as you come up, just be careful of the various chords. No tripping. We want the words tripping off our tongues, not our bodies tripping up.
Fantastic.
So we're on page 66.
There is an evil I have observed under the sun, and a grave one it is for man, that God sometimes grants a man riches, property, and wealth, so that he does not want for anything his appetite may crave, but God does not permit him to enjoy it. Instead, a stranger will enjoy it. That is futility and a grievous ill. Even if a man should beget 100 children and live many years, no matter how many the days of his years may come to, if his gullet is not sated through his wealth, I say, the stillbirth, though it was not even accorded a burial, is more fortunate than he. Though it comes into futility and departs into darkness, and its very name is covered with darkness, though it has never seen or experienced the sun, it is better off than he. Yes, even if the other lived 1,000 years twice over, but never had his fill of enjoyment. For are not both of them bound for the same place? All of man's earning is for the sake of his mouth, yet his gullet is not sated. What advantage then has the wise man over the fool? What advantage has the pauper who knows how to get along in life? Is the feasting of the eyes more important than the pursuit of desire? That too is futility and pursuit of wind. Whatever happens, it was designated long ago, and it was known that it would happen. As for man, he cannot contend with what is stronger than he. Often, much talk means much futility. How does it benefit a man? Who can possibly know what is best for a man to do in life, the few days of his fleeting life? For who can tell him what the future holds for him under the sun?
Thank you. All right. Levi.
Maybe somebody would do it. How many chapters are
There's 4 chapters. So, who else would like to read besides Levi? Nicole would like to read and Sherry would like to read.
It's fine.
Okay.
I saved my privilege to present to all my friends.
Sounds good. All right. Nicole, go ahead. No, we had 2 more. So we have 4 altogether. So,
I just need another Aliyah.
so go ahead, Nicole, go ahead and read. Read 7. Exactly. It's a comedy. It's not a comedy of errors. It's a comedy of futility. Comedy of futility and
Narrow-minded.
past everything.
Philistinism.
Ways.
Ridiculous. Okay, let's see. If I can read without my glasses clouding up. All is futile with your mask
Wait,
on.
I
know. Can I take my mask off and read or no? No. Okay.
Better leave it up.
Alrighty. A good name is better than fragrant oil, and the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to a house of feasting. For that is the end of every man, and the living one should take it to heart. Vexation is better than revelry. For though the face be sad, the heart may be glad. Wise men are drawn to a house of mourning, and fools to a house of merrymaking. It is better to listen to a wise man's reproof than to listen to the praise of fools. For the levity of the fool is like the crackling of nettles under a kettle. But that too is illusory, for cheating may rob the wise man of reason and destroy the prudence of the cautious. The end of a matter is better than the beginning of it. Better a patient spirit than a haughty spirit. Don't let your spirit be quickly vexed, for vexation abides in the breast of fools. Don't say, how has it happened that former times were better than these? For it is not wise of you to ask that question. Wisdom is as good as a patrimony, and even better for those who behold the sun. For to be in the shelter of wisdom is to be also in the shelter of money. No, is that what that says? For to be in the shelter of wisdom is to be also in the shelter of money. And the advantage of intelligence is that wisdom preserves the life of him who possesses it. Consider God's doing. Who can straighten what he has twisted? So in a time of good fortune, enjoy the good fortune, and in a time of misfortune, reflect. The one no less than the other was God's doing. Consequently, man may find no fault with him. In my own brief span of life, I have seen both these things. Sometimes a good man perishes in spite of his goodness, and sometimes a wicked one endures in spite of his wickedness. So don't overdo goodness, and don't set the wise man to excess, or you may be dumbfounded. Don't overdo wickedness, and don't be a fool, or you may die before your time. It is best that you grasp the one without letting go of the other, for one who fears God will do his duty by both. Wisdom is more of a stronghold to a wise man than 10 magnates that a city may contain. 10 magnates. For there is not one good man on earth who does what is best and doesn't err for err. Finally, don't pay attention to everything that is said, so that you may not hear your slave reviling you. for well you remember the many times that you yourself have reviled others. All this I tested with wisdom. I thought I could fathom it, but it eludes me. The secret of what happens is elusive and deep, deep down. Who can discover it? I put my mind to studying, exploring, and seeking wisdom and the reason of things, and to studying wickedness, stupidity, madness, and folly. Now I find a woman more bitter than death. She is all traps. Her hands are fetters, and her heart is snares. He who is pleasing to God escapes her, and he who is displeasing is caught by her. See, this is what I have found, said Kohelet, item by item in my search for the reason of things. As for what I sought further but did not find, I found only one human being in 1,000, and the one I found among so many was never a woman. But see, this I did find. God made men plain, but they have engaged in too much reasoning.
Oh, well.
Misogyny is never appealing. All right. Sherry, you finishing up?
מי כחכם ומי יודע פשר דבר חוכמת אדם תאיר פניו ועוז פניו ישונה. אני פי מלך שמור ועל דירת שבועת אלוהים. אל תבהל מפניו תלך אל תעמוד בדבר רע כי כל אשר יחפוץ יעשה. כאשר דבר מלך שלטון, ומי יאמר לו מה תעשה. A wise man, however, will bear in mind that there is a time of doom, for there is a time for every experience, including the doom. For a man's calamity overwhelms him. Indeed, he does not know what is to happen, even when it is on the point of happening. Who can tell him? No man has authority over the life breath to hold back the life breath. There is no authority over the day of death. There is no mustering out from that war. Wickedness is powerless to save its owner. All these things I observed. I noted all that went under the sun, while men still had authority over men to treat them unjustly. And then I saw scoundrels coming from the holy site and being brought to burial, while such as had acted righteously were forgotten in the city. And here is another frustration, the fact that the sentence imposed for evil deeds is not executed swiftly, which is why men are emboldened to do evil. The fact that a sinner may do evil 100 times and his punishment will be delayed. For although I am aware that it will be well with those who revere God, since they revere him, and it will not be well with the scoundrel, and he will not live long, because he does not revere God. Yesh hevel asher na'aseh al ha'aretz, asher yesh tzadikim, asher magia aleihem, k'maaseh harisha'im, v'yesh risha'im, shemagia aleihem, k'maaseh hatzadikim. Amarti shegam zeh havel, v'shibachti ani et hasimcha, asher ein tov la'adam tachat hashemesh, ki im le'echol v'lishtat v'lismoach, v'hu yovenu v'amalo yemei chayav, asher natan lo ha'elohim tachat hashemayim. So I have set my mind to learn wisdom and to observe the business that goes on in the world, even to the extent of going without sleep day and night. And I've observed all that God brings to pass. Indeed, man cannot guess the events that occur under the sun. The man tries strenuously, but fails to guess them. And even if a sage should think to discover them, he would not be able to guess them.
Okay, so now we will turn to our red books. Let's see here. Page 383. Let's see here. Actually, I have to find the right one here. There we go. Page 387. Okay, we can, I think we rise, but I think we do not walk around the sanctuary, which is probably better given the number of chords that are around us. So page 387. Hoshana lema'ancha Eloheinu. Hoshana. Your turn. Hoshana lema'ancha Boreinu. Hoshana. Hoshana lemancha goaleinu, Hoshana. Hoshana lemancha doshenu, Hoshana. Hoshana, 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 Hoshana. Hoshana, Hoshana, O Mitzura Kevava, Hoshana, Gunene Badat Nefesh Meshivat, Hoshana, Gomeret Hilkot Shabbat, Hoshana, Tureshet Mas'at Shabbat, Hoshana, Hakovat Alpayim Tahum Shabbat, Hoshana, Shivat Regel Mishabat, Hoshana, Zachor V'Shamor Mekayemet B'Shabbat, Hoshana, Hashav L'Maher Bi'at Shabbat, Hoshana, 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 Torah Chad Kol Mishisha LaShabbat, Hoshana, Yoshevet Umamtenet Ad Kalot Shabbat, Hoshana, Kavod Ve'oneh Kor'ah LaShabbat, Hoshana, Lavush U'chesut Mehalefet B'Shabbat, Hoshana, Ma'achal Mishte Mechila Shabbat, Noah Megadim Ma'emet L'Shabbat, Seudot Shalosh Ma'kayemet B'Shabbat, Hoshana, Al Shetei Kikarot B'Tza'at B'Shabbat, Hoshana, 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 Poret et arba reshuyot b'Shabbat, Hoshana tzivui, adlachat ner madleket b'Shabbat, Hoshana, kiddush hayom mekadeshet b'Shabbat, Hoshana, Renin Sheva Mifalelet B'Shabbat, Hoshana, Shiva Vadat Kor'ah B'Shabbat, Hoshana, Tanchilena Leyom Sekulo Shabbat, Hoshana, Ani v'hoshiana keoshata Adam yitzir kapecha legunana b'Shabbat kodesh imtzeto kover v'chanina kenoshana. As you delivered the people distinguished by their hope for freedom, and who learned thereby to anticipate the seventh day for rest. Kohen Hoshana, as you saved the nation whom you shepherded to Marah, where you bestowed on them the precept of Shabbat besides still waters. Ken Hoshana, as you strengthened your treasured people encamped in the wilderness of Sinai, where they demonstrated their wisdom by harvesting a double portion on the sixth day. Ken Hoshana, as you upheld the nation so attached to you that they themselves understood they must prepare for Shabbat in advance. Their shepherd then agreed and congratulating them. Ken Hoshana, as you sustained the people full of joy as they ate what had been preserved, but had not turned moldy nor become sour. Ken Hoshana, as you delivered the people who studied the laws of carrying on Shabbat, they rested, observing the boundaries and limits of Shabbat. Ken Hoshana, as you redeemed those who at Sinai heard the fourth commandment to remember and observe the holiness of the seventh day. Ken Hoshana, as you granted victory to those who commanded to encircle Jericho 7 times, besieging it till its walls fell on Shabbat and could be captured. Ken Hoshana, as you sustained Solomon and the people in the temple who pleased you, when they added 7 days of consecration to the 7 days of Sukkot. Ken Hoshana, as you delivered those who returned from exile and redeemed your Torah, publicly proclaiming each day of the holiday. Ken Hoshana. And I think that's enough of this one. Okay. with apologies to the poet and to the liturgist. Okay, page 391. Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachlatecha. Ure, mure, 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 munasem, ramen eseyad haolam. Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachlatecha. Ure, mure, 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 menasem, masem avenad haolam. Ayihu divrei asher hitchananti lifnei Adonai kruvim el Adonai Eloheinu yomam b'layla la'asot mishpat avdo u'mishpat amo Yisrael v'ayom biyomo למען דעת כל עמי הארץ כי אדוני הוא האלוהים I realized the ark was supposed to be open the entire time. We'll have to do it again. Hoshana, All right. So we will turn we'll call Lois up to finish the Torah service. Let's do the prayer for the state of Israel. Start with a prayer. Please God, bless the state of Israel, guard it with your abundant love, and spread over it the shelter of your peace. Page 73. Send forth your light and your truth to its leaders and judges, to its representatives, and to those who defend it. Strengthen them and guide them with good counsel through your presence, so they may walk in the way of justice, freedom, and integrity. Give peace to the land and lasting joy to all its inhabitants. And let us say amen. Page 75, please join me. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless all the people of this congregation and all other congregations, them and all their dear ones. May God's blessings also be vouchsafed unto those who dedicate and maintain synagogues, unto those who enter therein to worship and to study, unto those who provide lamps for illumination and wine for kiddush and havdalah, and unto those who provide bread for the wayfarer and tzedakah for the poor. May God also bless those who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the community and to the rebuilding of Eretz Yisrael. May the Holy Blessed One remove from them all sickness, preserve them in health, forgive their sins, prosper the work of their hands, and bestow blessings upon them, along with all Israel, their brothers and sisters. And let us say amen. So let's see, we will turn now to page 84. And we will need our Torah carriers, please.
Do you want to do Musa?
What's that?
Are you doing Musa?
We'll do like a brief,
Okay.
just a, yeah,
Can you tell me what I can
just
do?
do our.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. You like- Somebody was over here. Not me. Yeah, hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Kiskov Shemo Levado, Odal Eretz Shamayim, Yarem Kerem Diamo, Tila Bechol Hasidah, Livnei Yisrael, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Is more David, Havuladonai, Havuladonai, Kavodos, Havuladonai, Kavod Shemo, Shachavuladonai, Vechad Rakodes, Kol Adonai El Hamayim, El HaKavod Yerim, Adonai El Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai Ba'akovat, Adonai Be'adar, Kol Adonai Shover Arozim, V'Shover Adon, Be'tazeh Avot, V'Kidem Kemo Egel, Levanon v'Sirion kemo v'le'emim, Kol Adonai chotev la'avodesh, Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai mivachadesh, Adonai yicholel yom v'yetesof yarod, Uvehechalo kulo merkavod, Adonai lamahu yashav, Eshev Adonai melech le'olam, Adonai uzi amayiten, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom, Uvenecho yomar, Natati lachem, Torati al tazovu, Mitzvah
So once again, we'll have to switch back to the red books
What do you want me to
for
do?
Musaf.
Yeah,
And so for Musaf, I think what we'll do is we'll have a silent Musaf for, but it is the special Musaf for Chag, which begins. Let's see.
festivals.
Right, so Festival Musaf begins on page 343, but there's an alternative one as well, which you have access to a little bit after.
Just do this. Sal and Amita? No Kaddish or anything?
Sorry, Kaddish and then Sabbath goes off.
Yikada, Shnei Rabba, Yamad Ivrachirute, Yamleth Malchute, B'chayechon, B'yamechon, U'b'chayedecho B'Yisrael, B'agav Izman Karim, Yimru Amen, Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach, V'yalam Yom Yamayah, Yikvarach v'ishtabach, Yikvar v'tumah v'ignatzeh, V'tador v'tala Shemei dekudesha, Ve'ela min kol bechata v'shirata, V'shbechata v'nechemata, Damiram v'yalamu v'yimaru amen. Sim shalom Torah Chavolom Chen Lafesa Berachamim Aleinu V'Yakov Yisrael Amecha Farcheinu Avinu Kulanu Kiechad V'Yor Panecha V'Yor Panecha Nahatata Lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torah Chaim V'Ahavat Chesed V'Ahavat Chesed U'Tzedakah U'Veracha V'Rachamim V'Chaim V'Shalom V'Rachamim V'Chaim V'Chaim V'Shalom V'tov B'einecha Levarech et Amecha Yisrael V'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך ברוך אתה אדוני המורך את עמו ישראל בשלום. Where to? What? 203? Oh, the full Kaddish. Yikadal Yikadashane Rabbi Yamod Divrach Yerutevim Lech Malchutei V'chayikon Avim Lechon V'chayikon V'Yisrael V'agalav Izman Karivim Abru Amen Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Le'olam Yitbarach Yishtabach V'Bar V'Shemam V'Nasei Yitarav Yitalev Yitalam Shemei Dekudusha B'Richu La'ela Min Kol V'Chata V'Shivata Tishvachata V'Netamata Damiram B'Alma V'imaru Tikabot Salot Tehonu V'Tehon V'Chol Yisrael Kadama V'Hon V'Yishmael V'imaru Yehi Shlam Araba Min Shemaya V'Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'imaru Oseh Shalom B'Mramo V'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'Himaru Amen. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadoneinu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adoneinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shitiru, Avoteinu, Lefonecha, Eketorecha Samim. Aleinu V'Shameach L'Adon HaKol, V'Seinu V'Yosef Reshit, Shelo Yisrael K'nei HaRatzon, V'lo Samanu V'Yishmachol HaRabah, Shelo Samanu V'Yikavenu, V'Gor Aleinu, V'Gor Amonam, K'anachnu Kolim, Yisrael Modim, Yifnei Melech, Avei Elohim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, I got all the part out of here. You want me to do it? Adonai Yimloch לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, הנה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We'll turn to page 113 for the discussion. We do Mourner's Cottage first, I guess.
No, you do Psalm and then the Mourner's Kaddish. You do a Kaddish after the Psalm.
Cottage after this, okay, so page 113, please. Psalm 27.
ודוד, אדוני אוהבי אישי ממי, ירא אדוני מיוסי, ממי יחד, בכל המראים יחד, ושרי. אם תקנה למה קנה לא ראי, בי לולי האמנתי לרופאתי לאדוני בארץ חיים, קבל אדוני קצת ימית, סוגה וקבל אדוני. Let's do a Chag She'alti, about 7 lines down, I think. Chag She'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Chag She'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti bebeit Adonai, Oh, Yemei Chayai, Lachazot Noam Adonai, Uvaker Vehei Kolo, Lachazot Noam Adonai, Uvaker Vehei Kolo.
So Mourner's Cottage is on page 1. Page 121.
Okay. V'yikadal Shemei Rabbah. V'yalma divrach chirutei, v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei v'chol ve'Yisrael. V'adolah v'zman kariv imaru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah v'yalam v'yomei Amaya. V'yikorach v'yishtabach v'yikar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal. Shemei dekudsha v'yichud. Le'elah min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Damiram v'yalma v'imaru. Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'moromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru. Amen. Okay. Is there anything else?
So, quick announcement. Okay.
We had a Shmooze and Learn recently with Jacob Meskin, and as a result of that Shmooze and Learn, one person who was there signed up for the Maya class that's going to begin on October 17th, in which we're going to be learning with him about how classic Jewish texts have engaged recently modern Jewish thinkers. And so if you're interested in this class or you have any questions about it, Sherry's the one to talk to about it. On October 24th, our book group is going to be meeting to talk about the book Plunder, Family Property and Nazi Treasure by Menachem Kaiser. Interesting book. And also the week before that, on October 17th, Barry Holtz, a professor at the Jewish Theological Seminary, is going to be joining us for a Shmooze and Learn on the evening of the 17th at 7:30 to talk about Rabbi Akiva. It's going to be on Zoom.
that on the 17th. And also there's services this Tuesday. Rabbi Jim will tell you about it, but if you come to it, you can hear from the Torah itself. Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe.
So because it's during the week, it's difficult to make it meaningful. Having services over at 100 Center Street, you're welcome to join. Us, please just let me know if you're coming so I can know to expect you. You're more than welcome, and it would be very helpful to have a few more people in order to make the meeting make a meeting, let's put it that way. The services will also be available on Zoom, and I hope on YouTube, although I had trouble with YouTube today. So as a general rule of thumb, if you're looking for the services online, look to YouTube, but also look on Zoom. We may have to continue to do sort of weird hybrid things. So hopefully the technology will become clearer to me.
Can we meet in the sukkah afterwards or not?
I'm sorry?
Are we allowed to like go into the sukkah now?
I never got the word about being able to go into the sukkah. I'm assuming that you can go into the sukkah and at least make a kiddush. I think we probably have some wine and some grape juice left over from pre-COVID days. Who knows? I'll have a look. I think it's still in the heat. Well-aged grape juice, exactly. So I assume we can go down there and colonize a little bit of the corner. And if we get kicked out, we get kicked out.
We're members here. Okay, so Adon Alum and I have it 140 in these books. Well, in the white books. Come on, you all know the words. Come on, let's go. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'Eit Nasa V'Chetzo Kol Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Azay Melech Shemo Nikra V'Acharei Kiglo Hakol Levado Yimloch Nora V'Hu Haya V'Hu Hovel V'Hu Yiyeh V'Tifara V'Hu Yiyeh V'Tifara V'Hu Echad V'Yeh Sheni Lehamshir Lo Lehachira V'Li Reshi V'Li Tachlit V'Lo Ha'oz V'Ha'misra V'Lo Ha'oz V'Ha'misra V'Hu Eli V'Chai Galali V'Tzor Chavli V'Yetzara V'Hu Nisi V'Manasli V'Narkosi V'Yom Ekra V'Narkosi V'Yom Ekra V'Yadam Afkid Lefi V'Yedisha V'Yahira V'Yibrachi V'Yati Adonai Li V'Lo'ira Adonai Li V'Lo'ira.
Thank you. We like it, but I didn't realize that.